everyone! So today I'm going to be talking to you about a creative thinking and learning technique called mind mapping. Mind mapping was created in the 1960s by the British psychologist Tony Buzan. Buzan wanted to come up with a new tool for learning and taking down notes rather than just writing down whole paragraphs and sentences, so he came up with mind mapping. So this is basically what a mind map looks like. Here we have the central idea. And then we have branches coming out of the central idea. Each branch represents a related topic. And then coming out of each related topic is more sub-branches, right? And they just represent more details. So you go further into details by those branches. So let me actually show you an application of a mind map that I made myself while reading this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. This is the mind map that I made while reading the book. Here I have the central idea, which is forming atomic habits. So in the book, the author goes on about how you can build those very small habits until you reach a certain goal. There are so many details that the author goes on about the book, right? There are so many steps to follow, instructions that the author mentions. So in order for me to remember all of this, I wrote it down here in this mind map. So this is the central idea. And then we have branches coming out of the central idea. And then coming out of each branch are just details. They are the instructions that the author gives in order to build atomic habits. So someone might ask, well, what makes mind mapping special? Like, why is mind mapping better than traditional note-taking? Well, when you're taking notes in the traditional way, you're just writing down whole sentences. You're writing down maybe even paragraphs. You're writing down a lot of words and a lot of sentences, and your brain is never going to be able to remember all of this. With mind mapping, you're only writing down keywords. You're only writing down the words that are going to make you remember the whole thing. I saw someone explain it that way, and it really makes sense. So they said that you only write down keywords, and those keywords act like trigger words. So when you read those words, it triggers your brain to just remember the whole thing. So you're only going to choose the words that are going to trigger your brain, so that when you read that word or those words, you're going to remember the whole thing. So in a study conducted in 2012 by Jones, Brett D. et al., it was a mixed method trial, and the students in the end of the experiment reported back their experience with mind mapping. So I have some of their feedbacks written down here so I can quote them for you guys. So we have one student reporting, "I liked seeing how information was connected." Another said, "I liked that it helped me organize my thoughts." Another said, "I was comforted knowing I had complete control over my mind map. I believe that this activity made me think deeper than I normally would about a subject." Another student reported, "It made me really think about how each component related to the main concept and relate to my life." So even though mind mapping is pretty easy and pretty simple like we said before, it's still important to address the challenges that you may encounter while taking up this method. So I actually still have some of the encounter difficulties that the students reported from the same study. So one student said, "I prefer to write linear outlines." So it can be about preference. Another student reported, "There is so much information that can go into something like this, it's hard to condense it and choose what really relates to my topic." So this is actually a challenge that I myself encountered. Sometimes it's going to be hard to boil down the information that you are reading or listening to or whatever into just keywords. It's only about practice, but I promise you it's worth it. So I have not been mind mapping for long, just a few months, but I can already see changes in the way I think. I can see like actual changes in my brain. So if I'm like watching a video or attending a lecture or reading a book, my brain physically like creates this image of a mind map, and it makes me organize my thoughts better, have a better visual, like inner visual representation of the topic that's being presented. Like, it's honestly changed a lot of things. So yeah, that was all for the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you still have any questions about where to start, what exactly to do, feel free to ask, and I'm gonna try to help you as much as I can, of course. And yeah, that was all. I hope you have a nice day.